because you came in late and then got right on that first game. I remember you were out there playing, and the first 3 games went very well. And then I'll never forget Jacksonville, 4th game of the season. And I still remember this play. You got up and basically limped off the field on your own. Nobody came. You were hurt, but it didn't seem like anybody knew you were hurt. And you went over to the sidelines, and that was it for the season, wasn't it?
You know, it was I never really got hurt before that. And so when that happened, I was hoping I wasn't hurt because I didn't know what was going on. My knee was shaky a little bit. But after a while, the knee kind of stabilized itself as well. So I thought I'd be back in the game. But once we got in the locker room, they told me pretty much I was done, and that we'll find out once we get back to Charlotte if I was able to play any other games. And so that pretty much started a long sequel of injuries.
Yeah, because when you think about it, I mean, you had so many. I remember some of the great games you had. I remember you had a couple of 60-yard touchdown runs in one game against Cincinnati at what was then called Erickson Stadium. I remember a game against the Redskins. I think you had 100 yards in the first quarter, and George took you out for some reason. I don't know why that was. But there were bursts, there were signs of greatness, but then the injuries just held you back.
Yeah, Bill, you know, that's the thing that's been tough to deal with. You know, if I didn't have the talent to play in this league, I probably would have walked away from the game and feeling like, hey, I tried my best and it didn't work out. But like you said, there's flashes where I could play if I would have remained healthy, and it just didn't work my way. But I tried, and sometimes you wish that things would have turned differently. But hey, life goes and you move on.
I want to talk a little bit more about your career with the Panthers, but if the fans out there don't know, you were born in Kinshasa, Zaire.
Exactly.
But like when you were 5, you moved to Montreal, Canada. Did you remember much about the first 5 years?
A few things. I remember the friends, the games, but mostly my mother is the one that validate any memories that I have. So yeah, I remember playing around. I remember the house, but vaguely. You know, it's bigger than you think it is, really, because you're a kid. But most of my memories are in Canada, Montreal, where I grew up.
Yeah, and talk about Montreal. How does it? Now it's hockey country. Now,
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever tried playing hockey, but how did you get involved in football?
Kind of funny story. I got involved in a few fights, and there was racial tension going on in the school, and the PE teachers wanted to kind of calm the tension down and bring everybody together, and they thought football team would be a good thing to do, and they came to me, asked me if I wanted to join the team, and I joined in, and I did pretty good as a safety. We moved to running back, and the rest is history. And
you went to college originally in Canada, right?
No, see, it's a different school system. They call it college, but it's not. It's really grade 12 and 13 that we have in Canada, but it's still high school.
Oh, it's still high school. Yeah. So then you go to Michigan. How did Michigan find you?
The summer camp. I went to the Michigan summer camp, did pretty well, and they offered me a scholarship on the spot. And great choice. I enjoyed my career there.
Yeah, talk about going to Ann Arbor, and all of a sudden you're in a stadium that seats over 100,000 people. And for a kid who came from Zaire to Montreal to Ann Arbor, what was that like?
The first time you walk out of the tunnel, it doesn't look real. There's so many people, and it looks like in the images, but it was great, man. I mean, I was fortunate enough to play in Michigan, to have a chance to play and be on the field. It was a great experience. I enjoyed it. I loved it.
And immediately did you get involved in the rivalry with Ohio State? I mean, I'm sure up in Montreal you have no idea about what's going on between these two schools. This is one of the most intense rivalries in football.
I dig. No, you get involved because that week leading to the Ohio State game, the whole atmosphere just changes. The whole building has red, and there's TVs all over the locker rooms playing old games, and you got old players, old coaches coming back, hanging around. So you can tell it's a different game. I mean, it's an intense game, but it's like every game is the same to me. You go and you prepare, you play hard, but it's a different type of feel when it comes to Ohio State, Michigan.
All right, now talk about, you joined the Panthers. Talk about that meeting and talking to Bill Polian, Mike McCormick, guys like this. Did you have a pretty good idea draft day that the Panthers were going to take you? Because I'll be honest with you, a lot of people in Charlotte that covered the football team were really surprised.
I didn't. What happened was Bill Polian called in to fly me down for an interview, and my agent released it to the press. He called back cussing and fussing. We don't want him. So at that point, I didn't think the Panthers would draft me, but at the draft, actually, my agent knew for some reason. He told me right before the pick came, he gave me a piece of paper. He said, you're going to get drafted, and I got drafted by the Panthers.
So you come to Carolina. We already talked about your first year, and just for the fans who don't know, you still hold in the record books of the Panthers most attempts by a running back career, 611, most yards, 2,530, most rushing touchdowns, 14. Are you surprised 6 years later, after you played your last game, that these records are still there?
No, I think once you get a guy that's permanent, that plays 2 or 3 seasons, the record's gonna be broken. I happen to play longer than anybody else, so it's not really a true record if you look at it.
The game against the Redskins, and this is where it ended for you. And I remember this vividly because the team, you were winning. I mean, the Panthers, you had scored a touchdown. Your numbers, 20 carries, 121 yards. October 21st, 2001, in our nation's capital. And that's where it all ended for you. And I know this was a severe injury. This was, I know maybe people don't realize this, but you know, weren't they talking like they might have to amputate and stuff like that?
Yeah, what happened was when it was a dislocation of the foot. Basically, you tore all the ligaments in the foot. Because of the contortion of the foot, there were chances that the nerve and the blood vessel was jammed. And Dr. Anderson actually was one of the top foot surgeons in the country. Called the hospital in Washington to get a room for surgery. And their policy is you have to be a doctor there to perform the surgery. So we had to rush back on Mr. Richardson's private jet to get a surgery done immediately, just in case the nerve was jammed or the blood vessel was closed up. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was a serious injury. It took about 3 surgeries to get it right. I played golf yesterday and I'm still hurting a little bit. So it's never going to be right. It's a tough injury, and trying to come back. Had 4 team test my foot, but nobody would pass the physical. So I'm here, a businessman now.
Yeah. So I guess in 2002 you do try to come back. That happened in 2001. When did you realize? Was there a point when you were rehabbing, working out, that you thought, man, I can't play anymore?
Well, 2002 when I came back, I ran. I knew that if I played or practiced, I would have to take some painkillers. I knew that. In 2003, I knew that I could practice without painkillers, but play definitely with painkillers. But after I felt a few physical, and John Gruden actually called me for Tampa, and he was serious. He said if he's 70% of what he used to be, we're going to sign him. So I went down there, and the doctor went past my physical. I pretty much knew it was over with. Baltimore called, but at that point I was like, no, there's no need to go down there and go through the same routine of trying to impress the coaches, where I know I'm not going to pass the physical. So I knew that the door was shut, and personally I felt like God was leading me to something else.
Which he obviously did. You're still in Charlotte. Did you ever think about moving away from this area, or was it always here?
No, I did. You know, when you play here for a while, especially when they're winning, went to the Super Bowl, I felt jealous. I remember I called Sean Gilbert. I told him we're part of the Left Behind. You know, because you know you were here when the season were tough. You know, you tried to win games, and now they're winning, and you're hoping to be a part of it. So that was tough. But Charlotte's beautiful. The weather's nice. The people are great. The town is growing so fast. It's good for business, so I stuck around.
Do fans recognize you? Do they know who you are?
Not really. When my name is mentioned, they recognize, but not really, which is good. I love it.
Well, Tomonga, it was great seeing you. Glad you could stop by the show. Much success in the jewelry business. And do you go to games much?
I've not been back yet.
Really?
No, I've not been back yet. But last year I was supposed to go back, but I just ran out of time. But I'm going this year.
Well, great seeing you. Continued success, and let's talk again sometime.
Thank you for having me, Bill.
Tomonga Biakabutuka, former #1 pick of the Carolina Panthers. Our time is up for this edition of Sports Night at South End Brewery. I'm Bill Rosinski. We'll see you again next time.
Sports Night at South End Brewery is brought to you by South End Brewery and Smokehouse, offering fine cuisine, custom crafted beers, and the #1 microbrewery in the South. And by Imbo Furniture, Scandinavian and contemporary designs. Fox Tops All, the countertop specialist. Call now and ask about our starting line selections. Hendrick Lexus. Come see Ronaldo Turnbull and get the keys to your luxurious new Lexus today. Charlotte Health and Fitness Magazine. Ansel Brown. Guests of Sports Night receive Godiva chocolates from Godiva Chocolatiers in South Park Mall in Charlotte.
Relax and let your thoughts drift away in a stressless, the ultimate recliner. Designed to support you perfectly in any position. Relax your body, free your mind in a stressless.
Come, experience Stressless at Inbo Furniture in Cornelius.
Hi, I'm David Klein, publisher of Charlotte Health and Fitness magazine. Wanted to invite you to join us for the 5K Walk Run Fitness Series out at the U.S. National Whitewater Center, July 17th and August 14th, both Tuesday nights. The event does begin at 7 p.m., so just come out after work. And again, a portion of the proceeds will go to benefit the Right Moves for Youth. You can register at chfmag.com. Again, that's chfmag.com.
Welcome to Stressless, the recliner that lets you create your own personal comfort zone. With a smooth reclining glide system that eases your body into the perfect position for total relaxation. Plus full lumbar support and a headrest that adjusts automatically. Stressless. Relax your body, free your mind.
Come, experience Stressless at Inbo Furniture in Cornelius.
You don't have to be this fit to read Charlotte Health and Fitness magazine, but let Charlotte Health and Fitness magazine help you maximize your active lifestyle. Every month, CHF readers enjoy features on the best places to get fit, look great, and have fun. CHF is now available for home or office delivery. For a limited time, visit chfmag.com and sign up to receive your complimentary copy today.